It's a much more pleasant night for baseball in Pittsburgh. Last night, a weather-related night off, and the series begins here now between the Colorado Rockies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game one of a three-game set right around the corner. Hi again, everyone, with Steve Glass. I'm Tim Neverett. Tonight, we see a guy who stood the test of time, 49-year-old Jamie Moyer, making his 690th appearance in 632nd Major League start.
You want to throw some numbers around? He's also thrown over 58,000 pitches. He will add to that total tonight, so I don't think his pitch count is going to be much of a factor. You know, the thing about Jamie Moyer, you got to get away from the subject of age at some point and get into two areas. First of all, he's been a terrific Major League pitcher for over 22 years. He also has become one of Major League Baseball's finest citizens.
No question about it. Jamie Moyer, the subject of our PNC achievement for the achiever in you. And the lefty will face Pirates right-hander Kevin Correa. Correa 1-0. Missed his last scheduled start with discomfort in his left side and makes his home debut in 2012.
Yeah, Kevin's been just fine in the month of April, as he was last year when he pitched extremely well for the Pirates. He hopes to get going with a better record at home because PNC was a struggle for him last year. And by the way, last April, talking about good work in April, he was part of a combined shutout against the Rockies in Denver. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. Correa, an all-star a year ago. The Pirates hope to get the bats rolling here tonight against Colorado pitching as the Bucks get set to open a three-game set with Colorado. The series gets underway next on Root Sports.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Chevy Cruze, which offers you EPA estimated 42 mpg highway. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Getting set for baseball here, and so are the skippers. Clint Hurdle, former manager of the Rockies. Jim Tracy, former manager of the Pirates. In fact, Tracy was Hurdle's bench coach in 2009 with Colorado when Clint left the ball club, and Tracy has taken over. Done a good job since. Kevin Correa leading the Pirates out of the third base dugout. getting set to make his third start of the 2012 season. Not bad tonight, 52 degrees. Winds out of the northwest, 14. Cool and clear tonight. We've got blue skies above PNC Park. A nice sight after the weather that rolled through this region yesterday. Let's take a look at Jim Tracy's lineup here in game one. Marco Scutaro at second base. Dexter Fowler, switch hitting center fielder. They call him Cargo. He's off to a slower start than the Rockies fans would have expected. Tulowitzki, Helton, Kadire has been a great addition for Colorado this year. Ramon Hernandez, the former Cincinnati Red. Chris Nelson at third. And Jamie Moyer doing the pitching and batting ninth against Kevin Correa.
Yep, Kevin Correa has been doing a fine job. 2 starts so far. He's given up just 1 run in each of those 2 starts against 2 good ball clubs, the Dodgers and then the Giants, on a very taxing day, April 15th. So he's been just fine, as he was, mentioned this in the open, that did a good job for the Pirates in the month of April. In fact, did a great job for the Pirates the first half of the season. Didn't go as well in the second half, but that's to come. Right now he's picking up where he left off early in the 2011 season. Let's hope he can keep it going, and let's hope that the Pittsburgh Pirates can score some runs tonight.
Well, Kevin Correa trying to retire the side in order. The Pirates only had the side retired in order once so far this season, as you mentioned. They've got to try to do it here. Correa did it in San Francisco. So Marco Scutaro will lead off, the second baseman, with a .222 average. No homers and a run batted in. Scutaro, another one of the newcomers to the Rockies in recent months. First pitch of the ball game on the way. It's up high for ball 1.
I'm wondering if it might be bad luck to get the side out in order, because in spite of the fact the Pirates have not done that on a regular basis, or hardly ever, the pitchers overall have done a terrific job.
1-0 pitch in there for a call strike. It's 1-1 to Scutaro. Correa making his 13th career start against the Colorado Rockies.
3-5 overall in those outings.
And the 1-1. Scutaro pops it up. But Barmes, the former Rocky, makes the catch, and there is one gone. Barmes providing some defense. The rest of the Pirates defensively: Presley, McCutchen, and Tabata in the outfield. Jamaico Navarro gets a start at third base. Barmes, you just saw him at short. Walker and McGee on the right side, with the veteran catcher Rod Barajas doing the receiving tonight of Kevin Correa's pitches. And Jamaico Navarro, 12th career start at third base. Second start for the Pirates this year, but his first start on the 12th of April was in left field against the Dodgers. Pitch up high to the switch hitting center fielder Dexter Fowler.
One thing that might become a factor for the pitchers on a night like this, it's cold, clear, and dry, is the grip on the baseball. We'll get into that when we get a moment, perhaps sooner than later, meaning that the umpires will let the pitcher blow on their hand to just get some moisture if they possibly can, because it becomes a slippery baseball when you've got these cool, dry conditions.
1-1 from Correa. Missed on the outside corner. They're rubbed up with the mud before each game to try to get that sheen off the ball.
Yeah. It's more of a factor on your breaking pitches than it is in the fastball. Fastball is fairly traditional grip. You don't have to do much wrist-wise. But on the curveball, the slider, it becomes a little bit of a factor to make sure you can get that grip, that feel that you want to give you a little friction.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Dexter Fowler. And Dexter had been a regular leadoff guy for the Rockies.
Well, talk about your fastball across the seams or with the seams. That's pretty traditional release. We'll go a little further after that base hit. And that record stays intact. Big turn by Fowler at first base, but they get it back in. Okay, we'll get back to the grip a little bit. Now your curveball, it doesn't get released straight out like this. You have to get the curveball to work with the wrist, so that becomes more of an issue in terms of keeping the grip you want, as opposed to just letting it go with a fastball. When you have to do more with your wrist, that's when you have to really dig in to get that good feel, that good firm grip.
1 out and 1 on. Fowler has been a pretty decent base stealer. He's got 2 swipes this year. Pirates middle infield playing at double play depth. There's Gonzalez. Remember, they got Carlos Gonzalez from the Oakland Athletics a few years ago, and they traded Matt Holliday over there. And Gonzalez was a young player, but boy, has that ever worked out for Colorado.
Indeed.
Here's a guy that 2 seasons ago battling for the Triple Crown. Pitch outside for ball 1-1. No home runs yet on the year for Gonzalez.
But also no home runs given up by Correa.
Right.
So standoff at this point. Definitely a pitcher's night. The batters do not like cold weather. A little harder to get loose. Ball can get in on the handle of the bat easier and hurt more. Pitchers love to crowd the batters in these conditions. There's some bees, those bumblebees in the bat handles. Along with very little wood, too, these days.
They have more than double the RBIs a year ago today. Average was a little lower, but he had more run production. Oh, the 1-2 coming. And ground ball wide of McGee at first.
Good looking change up from Kevin Correa that had Gonzalez out in front. The whole key with a change up, don't telegraph it. Well, although I guessed wrong because that was the curveball. Still out in front of it.
You wouldn't have done well as a hitter guessing wrong.
Yeah, I did a lot of that.
Correa's throw to first, and Dexter Fowler gets back. Correa, good job against the Dodgers. His first outing. Pirates couldn't come up with a victory for him, but he held his own, pitching on opening day at Dodger Stadium.
He's always done well on the road, hasn't he? He's been a roadie. Last year, good numbers on the road, and these 2 starts against the Dodgers and Giants, 2 good ball clubs.
Well, last year he was 10-3 with a .264 earned run average in 14 starts on the road. Got to the point where Clint Hurdle was even joking about possibly having him sleep in a hotel at home because he wasn't getting the results at home. Full count now.
Years ago when the Steelers played, they would have their whole team out at a hotel in the South Hills Saturday night before the Sunday night games. Now does the question become, if it's an individual or a group, do they stay in their rooms?
Still got to stay in your room. That's the
well,
thing.
yeah.
Fowler takes off on the 3-2 pitch, and this one driven deep to left field. Presley on the run, and he looks up, and that ball is gone. A home run. Carlos Gonzalez, his first homer of the year, and the Rockies out to a 2-0 lead.
Well, that's how strong Carlos Gonzalez is, going the opposite field. Not only opposite field, but opposite field for a left-hand batter in this ballpark is very impressive. It's such a big left field, even for the righties who can pull it that way. Going the opposite way, opposite field, hitting it over the fence, that's a lot of strength. And up and out over the plate. And there's a carrying wind. You said 14 miles an hour. That's enough to be somewhat a factor. It might have made the difference here because that ball just barely made it over the fence. Maybe the breeze helped it a little bit.
This is the 12th time in 16 games that there has been a score in the first inning. Wind enough to move the big flags out in left center field. The Pirates now this season have allowed 15 first inning runs. And in contrast to that, Steve, the Pirates have only scored 5 first inning runs. The first 15 games. Troy Tulowitzki takes a strike. Carlos Gonzalez with a home run, his first of the year. RBIs 6 and 7 for the Rockies outfielder. 1-1 to Tulowitzki. He's got himself a base hit to right. Third consecutive hit off Correa after he retired Scutaro to start the inning. Fowler a single, Gonzalez the home run, and then Tulowitzki follows up with a base hit.
Well, it's just a matter of time for Gonzalez. He's that good a hitter where those numbers are going to start to improve and get to be at the impressive level. Tulowitzki going the opposite way. So 2 opposite field base hits after the Fowler single.
Todd Helton off to a good start. Decent start for him. 239, but he has 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in.
The ever dangerous Todd Helton.
His first career home run against the Pirates at Three Rivers Stadium.
When he hits well or does impressive things or has a big game, you're not surprised. He has that kind of resume. Ray Searich wants to have a word with his starter right here in the top of the first inning.
Well, Helton's got to be doubly excited to be in Colorado right now because his old college teammate, Peyton Manning, is now the quarterback of the Broncos. Helton was Manning's backup.
That's right.
When Peyton was a freshman, won the starting job.
They've both gone on to do good things.
Yeah, pretty good things. Helton has 350 major league home runs, and number 1 came at Three Rivers Stadium. One of them that he hit here at PNC Park was the second ever splashdown ball in the river. Lance Berkman hit the first. The park opened up in 0-1. 3-0 to Helton. 3-strike call.
Of course, we have to qualify that a little bit. They had to be on the bounce or rolling in, right? There's only been 1 on the fly.
1 on the fly, Darrell Ward.
Yep.
But
still impressive.
His was in the bottom part of the Riverwalk and bounced it. Count full now.
Good 3-1 delivery by Kevin.
Hit it right out there, bounced over that back wall and into the water. Berkman, the very first one, hit that back hill, that green grass down there.
Runaway 2-9er incoming.
Payoff pitch, ground ball to the left side, and Jamaica Navarro have 1 play. That's across the first. Helton is gone, safe at second. Tulowitzki. Now Michael Kadire. What an addition this guy has been.
Well, Jim Tracy's been raving about him. He's put some meat into the lineup.
Well, he's had a couple of hits on the road trip, and both have produced game-winning runs. Dyer, long-time member of the Twins organization.
Well, one thing about this series, the Rockies probably not uncomfortable at all. You think immediately some of the conditions that they play in and under at Coors Field weather-wise. This has got to be a delightful evening. They're probably stunned they didn't play last night.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks from their side were, because that's just sort of the way things are in the Rocky Mountains on a lot of nights.
It broke kind of funny yesterday. It looked so bad, and then it actually didn't stay as bad as a lot of people thought it was going to be. So. We'll play 2 tomorrow. Come on out, double your fun.
The 1-1 pitch.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Ball just pinballs into the seats.
That could have hit about 3 different people.
Strike 2 to Kadire.
Folks on the staff that go down and check on those kind of things, got to check on about 4 people. Everybody seems to be all right. Rocket into the stands.
Right at Barmas, catching the line drive. Gonzalez 2-run home run has the Rockies in front 2-0 with the Pirates coming to bat. Let's take a look at the Toyota starting lineups for the Pirates. Presley, Tabata, McCutchen, Casey McGee in there tonight batting cleanup. Neil Walker, the switch hitter after him. Jamaica Navarro, 6th. Then Barajas, Barmas, and Correa to face the ageless wonder, Jamie Moyer.
Number 50 on your scorecard. He's number 1 in a lot of people's hearts. He's made a lot of stops along the Major League trail, and he has been highly respected at every stop. So far this year, 1-2, ERA 2.55. Had to win a job in spring training. Did that by pitching very effectively. Wasn't handed a job. What a resume he has established, both as a winning pitcher and as one of baseball's great citizens. He really is.
Well, Moyer delivers, and Presley takes outside for a ball. Now, it's about deception. It's about location. It's not about overpowering anybody. If Jamie Moyer hits 80 with a fastball, better mark down the date and time. Presley drives this one to right center field. That's going to get down to the wall. Presley will stop at second with a leadoff double. His first double of the season. It's Presley starting things off impressively tonight. Take a look at the Rockies defensively. You saw Dexter Fowler in center field chasing that one down. He's flanked by Gonzalez and Kadire. On the infield, Chris Nelson, converted shortstop and second baseman, playing third, and Troy Tulowitzki, the star at shortstop. Ramon Hernandez, the well-traveled Ramon Hernandez, last stop the Cincinnati Reds, catching Jamie Moyer.
You've got an experienced battery, Moyer and Hernandez.
Well, bunt right back to Moyer. That'll get Presley to third base. And the sacrifice 1-3.
Take a look at the body of work from Jamie Moyer. There we go. A lot of experience. 25 Major League seasons. The games, the record. That translates into 472 decisions, by the way. Over 17,000 batters faced. 58,000 pitchers thrown. 58,000 and counting. Pretty impressive stuff.
McCutchen, ground ball, get a run in. Tulowitzki ends up throwing him out, but it's an RBI. 6-3 goes to put out. Presley scores, and it's now 2-1.
Well, we got action.
Yeah. Well, you talk about that number, 8.9%. 8.9% of players to play Major League Baseball since 1876. Moyer has faced them. And that note coming to us courtesy of Doug Marino, who is the award-winning Rockies statistician, who digs and digs and digs and digs, and the numbers will astound you. I mean, 690 appearances now. 8.9% of the guys who've ever played baseball he's faced. Just think of that.
And by the way, 2 starts ago, 112 pitches thrown by Jamie Moyer. So Jim Tracy's not backing off this veteran.
1-0 pitch, and McGee takes outside. Moyer lives in the Pirates' spring training home, Bradenton, Florida. And the reason, his 2 oldest boys, when they were baseball playing age, and still are, they're in college age now, but when they were younger, he enrolled them at the IMG Academy.
Yep, formerly the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy, but that has all changed now. IMG took it over. They've got everybody. They got golf. They've got NFL guys coming down to try and get themselves in shape for the combine. It's quite a factory down there now.
Andrew McCutchen works out there in the offseason. Works on speed training. But Moyer and his family, quite a large family, 7 children, moved to Bradenton so that his kids could have the best instruction.
Originally from Sellersville, Pennsylvania. One of the things he does best, he will read that particular pitch, and that will help him dictate to him what he's going to try on the next pitch. It's called reading the batters, reading their swings, reading their reactions. He does it very, very well.
3-2's outside, and McGee draws the walk and the tying run aboard. Took the shirt right off the wall, apparently. Signatures on it.
Yeah.
Here's Walker.
Moyer's 4th start. He has given up 2 home runs in the previous 3.
Neal fouls it off to right.
Jamie's game, when he's pitching well, he'll have you doing what was the other day for the Cardinals on Sunday.
On Sunday would have been Loesch.
Loesch, having the parts a little out in front, a little bit laid back. He'll get you moving too early and too late. It doesn't matter what the speeds are. If he gets you into those kind of modes, it's over.
Walker in the air to left. Gonzalez under it. Drop it! He'll make the catch. Pirates strand 1, get 1 hit, and get 1 run. Trail 2-1 after the first. Games for the Pirates. His leadoff double resulted in a run. This day in Pirates history from Day Automotive, April 24th, 1998. Jason Kendall wanted to score this run.
There it is.
Wow. You're not going to see too many guys ever do this in baseball.
Yep. In San Diego. Never forget watching that play. It was like an NFL running back. What a cut he just made. The hesitation move and over the top.
Catcher Carlos Hernandez, the most stunned guy in the stadium that night. Day Automotive, we're going to make your day. Here is Ramon Hernandez facing Kevin Correa to start the second. First pitch fouled back, 0-1. Hernandez got a big resume. Look at where he has been. Of course, most recently, last few years with the Cincinnati Reds. Inside to him. Prior to that, the Baltimore Orioles for 3 seasons. He'd been with the San Diego Padres and came up in 1999 with the Oakland Athletics. He spent a handful of years there. Hernandez waits in the pitch. 2-1. Kevin came up lame on Thursday, the day off. Told pitching coach Ray Surridge he had a problem with his left side. So an MRI, throwing on the side on Friday. Rather on Saturday, he threw on the side. He was supposed to start Saturday against St. Louis. And A.J. Burnett was supposed to have his final rehab start in Altoona. Well, they held Kevin out. Told AJ, don't go to Altoona. You're going to start here in Pittsburgh. And all worked out for AJ. 7 shutout innings, scattered 3 hits to right field and right at Jose.
Taking a look at that resume by Ramon Hernandez, his 13 professional years in Major League Baseball at that level, combined with Jamie Moyer, that battery, over 38 years of Major League experience. They know what's going on.
Yeah, they've been
AJ.
around.
Yep. Mr. Burnett knows what's going on too. Didn't panic in the first inning Saturday night. And then it was Katie bar the door. AJ was able to run the table.
Looking forward to his next start in Atlanta on the upcoming road trip. Chris Nelson was drafted out of high school as a shortstop. They moved him to second base, but they feel third base is his best infield position due to the fact he doesn't have to utilize much range. He had okay range as a middle infielder, but seems to be a pretty good defensive third baseman.
Speaking of third baseman for the Rockies, I saw a picture of Vinny Castilla.
You did?
Yeah, he's working, I think, as an assistant to the general manager. Part of that Blake Street Bomber group. Larry Walker, Dante Bichette. They could put some numbers up, and they did put some numbers up.
Pre-humidor. Before they had the humidor in Colorado, it was like playing with an aluminum bat and a golf ball.
Yeah, arena ball.
It was amazing. And since they put the humidor in, and the humidor basically the same thing you put. Hey, Steve, you must have a big humidor at home for all your cigars.
Yeah, but it never helped my pitching.
No. But they put up the baseballs in them, and that's part of the deal. It softens them up some. Has evened things out over the years. 2-2 pitch.
A dry baseball is a harder baseball, and a harder baseball goes further.
Now, have you ever played golf in Colorado anywhere?
Oh, yeah. I loved it. I loved it. You get about 10% more distance. Didn't seem to affect the accuracy 10%,
no,
but the distance.
The distance is pretty good, huh?
Yep.
Navarro with it. And he's got Nelson. 2 gone here in the Rockies half of the second inning.
Well, this should be, you would think, fairly comfortable for Kevin Correa because Jamie's been up 4 times and he struck out 4 times. No guarantees, though, because, again, he's been around long enough. Been up to the plate a bunch of times.
Part of the game he enjoys. He enjoys just being a ball player. You will see him run on and off the field.
Well, he'll be one of the first ones onto the field after the end of an inning, too. When the Rockies get through hitting, he'll have the glove and he'll be ready to go. It won't be that way this time because he's going to strike out. And his teammates will be able to get out of the dugout quicker. But every other time, number 50 will be out of that dugout first.
0-2 outside. The stirrups he wears are circa 1986 when he came up with the Cubs.
Recognize that look.
Got the sanitary socks.
Yep.
Correa's 1-2 to Moyer. And this one gets away, but Barajas will throw him out. Strikeout. 2-3 goes the putout. 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Correa. 2-1 Rockets. second inning. Jamie Moyer, 49 years and 151 days, oldest pitcher in Major League history to get a win. You look down and you see Hoyt Wilhelm, the knuckleballer, on the list. Of course, another knuckleballer, and Phil Niekro. Satchel Paige, 47 years and 77 days. Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click at barrel.com. Satchel Paige was 59 years, 80 days old when he started for Kansas City in 1965 in September. He had taken a 10-year hiatus.
Incredible.
From big league baseball at the time. That's why there was such a discrepancy in age. But he went from 1953 Browns to the 1965 A's and made a start. Jamaico Navarro takes on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1.
That was somewhat of a symbolic start. You got to believe that. I mean, that's just what it was.
59 years old. That is that's up there for baseball, for anything athletic. And Tulowitzki retiring Jamaico Navarro.
Satchel.
Great pitcher.
Don't look back. They might be gaining on you.
Pitch for the Crawford.
Yeah. Satchel Paige was something else indeed.
And the Grays, Homestead Grays, and of course the Crawfords. The uniform had always said Crawford singular.
Crawford Grill up on the hill.
Here's Rod Barajas. Barajas against Moyer is a .417 hitter. He's got a pair of home runs. Moyer has struck him out once. Barajas, it's 5 out of 12 against Jamie.
It's hard for major league batters to pump the brakes and just back off and wait long enough. The old adage used to be, tell the guys, all right, you got to wait and wait and wait on this guy, and then when you think you've waited long enough, wait some more. And if you wait too long, you'll be behind a 78, 79 mile an hour fastball. Like that.
Just like that. It's like you set that one up, Steve. Barajas, one of the Pirates, really needs to get things going, hitting 091.
So there's a guy right behind him in the batting order, Mr. Barmas.
And Barajas goes down on strikes, and there are 2 gone. First strikeout for Moyer.
So after a 76 mile an hour fastball, check it out. Sinker of some kind, way down underneath the strike zone. Rod apparently anticipating something else, which is the talent of Moyer. Throw something they're not thinking about. If they're thinking fastball, throw something else. If they're thinking something else, throw fastball.
Want to know to Barmas. To visit with a few of his former teammates for the game, and he hits this one well to left, and this one is going to be off the wall. And in with a double is Clint Barmas. That's his first 2-bagger of the year.
That's more like it, Clint.
Time run now in scoring position with 2 down for Kevin Correa. He will come to the plate next, Pirates' 9th hitter.
And this is every pitcher's dream now, to come up to the plate against a guy that doesn't throw hard. First, we'll take a look at the double. Downstairs, Clint gets a lot of it, sends it up into that slight breeze, but hits it well enough to get over the head of Gonzalez, and he's got an easy 2-base hit.
Pretty close to hitting a home run at the top of the wall. Correa out in front.
Every pitcher likes to go up. There's no, you don't go up to the plate as a pitcher with fear. You know you're not going to get hurt, even if you get hit. And no pitcher wants to hit his mound opponent, so you got that going for you. So you should be somewhat relaxed. Not that it is going to guarantee success, as Kevin's way out in front of a couple of 71 mile an hour off speed pitches.
It's about where you'll see Moyer get up, maybe about 78.
78 down to 71. That's a decent separation.
just outside. Last year, Tommy John surgery. So he missed the entire season.
At age 48, just to make that decision.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through what you have to go through with that procedure. Do all the rehab and everything and come back and feel like you could pitch again.
Correa strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Barmes a double. He's stranded. We'll go to the third. 2-1 Rockies.
Pirates baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. By PNC Bank for the achiever in you. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward. Let's go, Bucks!
Nice night in the Berg. Pirates down by a run. Top of the third inning. With Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. Glad you're along watching Pirates baseball with us. Opener of a 3-game series with the Rockies. Got the right headgear on. Did you loan him that one? Oh, yeah, see.
Ah, hey, he's calling you on the phone, I guess.
Know. Yeah. I better answer that. He's usually trying to reach me on certain nights. And I told you never to call me here. No. Why don't you tweet me instead?
Is the plane ready? He wants to make sure the plane's ready. Your private plane.
Scooter, a ground ball to short. Barmes takes care of that. 1 down. 6 straight. Set down by Correa. We'd like to welcome Atlantic Broadband subscribers from the Altoona area. Thanks for watching and rooting for your Pittsburgh Pirates, all of us at Root Sports. And the Pirates appreciate your support. Let's go, Bucks.
Blair County.
Looking forward to getting out there next spring training for the exhibition game. That was reported at the end of this spring training. Pirates expected to play a game there.
On the way up north?
Yes.
Yeah. Won't be the first time they've done it. Did it a few years ago.
Beautiful ballpark with a roller coaster in the outfield. 1-0 pitch to Fowler. That's foul.
I still have an Altoona Curve hooded sweatshirt because we got up there for the spring game and it was very brisk.
So why don't you keep a few on hand for when we get there?
I can do that.
There's the 1-1. It's inside to Fowler. Good night for a hat.
And a hoodie.
Ground ball to second. 2 down. Two ground balls now being hit by the Rockies off of Kevin Correa. Keeping that ball low in the strike zone.
That's a good thing.
Now he'll face Carlos Gonzalez, who hit the home run against him. You know, at PNC Park since 2008, the Rockies and Pirates almost dead even in a number of categories. 7 wins each. 70 total runs for the Rockies prior to tonight. 71 for the Pirates. 135 total hits for the Rockies. 133 for the Bucks. 12 home runs apiece. They've played it dead even since 2008. Rockies have stolen 14 bases. The Pirates 13. Rockies have walked 50 times. The Pirates 52 times.
Tonight's score reflecting all that.
Rockies have struck out 94 times. The Pirates 96. So you go up and down the statistics in this series since 2008. The numbers eerily similar. 2-1 now to Gonzalez. Center field, and Gonzalez is 2 for 2. And this is what he's normally like. You'll see a multi-hit game out of him more often than you won't.
Sinking fastball down and away. Gonzalez goes over, just hits it back through the middle. That's what the two-seam fastball will do. It'll go down and away to that left-hand hitter. And left-hand hitters get in trouble when they try to pull that ball. A lot of ground balls to second base, but Carlos was able to wait, serve it into center field.
Tulowitzki takes low. Well, before Troy Tulowitzki came along, Clint Barmes was the starting shortstop in Colorado. And when Tulowitzki came on board, Barmes ended up playing some second base. And then eventually moved on to the Houston Astros before coming to the Pirates. Tulowitzki out of Long Beach State, a teammate of the Pirates, Jared Hughes there. Evan Longoria of the Rays, also on that team. That was just full of guys that went on to play baseball professionally, and some of them at an all-star major league level. 2-0 to Tulowitzki.
Jared Hughes sent out just before Friday night's game.
Right.
Get all that roster business squared away.
And now here's something, speaking of the roster, Steve, with the new collective bargaining agreement, there's a new rule this year that for a doubleheader you can carry an extra man. So the Pirates will be making a roster move tomorrow, calling up a 26th player, expected to be a pitcher. McCutchen going back after it. Great grab by Andrew McCutchen. Coming up, we're going to visit with the closer, Kent Tekulve. Get his take on Jamie Moyer. 2-1 Rockies. the Pirates postgame show. Hear what Clint Hurdle has to say, interviews with the stars of the game, highlights, and more. It's all coming up postgame right here on Root Sports. And here's a first pitch from Moyer into Alex Presley for a strike. Presley doubled. Speaking of postgame, Kent Tekulve is here, and it's a great opportunity to sit in the booth with the guys who got the last outs of each of the last Pirates World Series. Steve Blass in 71 and Kent Tekulve in 79. The guys who recorded the final outs in Game 7s.
Well, I say don't shoot Walkie, because he got the first out in 1980, so he and I got back-to-back outs.
That's right. You're right. You're right. You are right indeed.
Bookends.
Well, speaking of the Phillies, you were pitching for the Phillies, Teague. And Jamie Moyer was a starting pitcher that day in 1986 for the Cubs.
Absolutely. It was his debut. He beat Steve Carlton in Wrigley Field. And yes, I did. I pitched the last 2 innings of that ball game. That was in 1986. What you got to think about when you're thinking about Moyer, I've been retired for 23 years. I played 3 more years after 86. That's how old this guy is. And he's still starting baseball games.
Isn't that amazing?
Makes me realize how old you are.
I know how old I am every morning.
Apparently Jamie doesn't.
No.
He's not accepting.
He's having Tommy John surgery after age 47.
Yeah, I mentioned that. How about that decision to go ahead and do that at that particular age and stage in your career? That's being convinced you can still contribute.
Yeah, I think I got a couple more years in me.
Well, unless
we're going to write from major league salary to pension to Social Security.
We can get you 1 or 2 more years if you have that Tommy John.
Yeah,
There's
really.
still time for you.
Here's Jose Tabata with 1 out, nobody on. Tabata sacrifice bunt, got Presley over to second base in the first inning. He takes a strike. Well, what do you remember about that day? Do you have any recollection of it? Was it just another day for you?
No, I mean, this was not like Kerry Wood's first start. This wasn't somebody that popped your eyes right away. You said, well, this is a young guy came up. Yeah, he threw the ball over the plate. Usually, the typical excuse for every major league hitter is, well, the guys you haven't seen before, they're hard to hit. Therefore, we didn't get enough runs and lefty lost.
But he runs that W out against Carlton.
Yeah,
that's pretty good stuff.
That's a pretty good number to draw right there in your first assignment.
Indeed.
But I'll tell you, it's also interesting to me, because I can kind of relate to some of the stuff Moyer's going through now at this advanced age, playing till I was 42. And I think the most interesting part of it is after you turn 40, your physicals in spring training are with the coaches, not with the players. There's a couple extra programs you have to run into that the real players don't have to go through.
Yeah, your insurance starts kicking in. Get some Medicare factors.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Jose Tabata. And Moyer delivers. A little chopper. Nelson's not going to get it. Tulowitzki does, but it's too late. An infield single for Jose Tabata.
One of the great things, Teak, that you have to see with a guy like Jamie Moyer, who doesn't throw the ball very hard, is the way he reads pitches. He reads pitches on what he just did. Will dictate what he's going to do next. And he has a good sense of watching batters and getting reads off them, whether they swing or not, how they basically react.
Right. I mean, you get a read off of how they take a pitch. Mm-hmm. You can get a read, and after, obviously he's seen a lot of these guys for quite a while now. You know what they're looking for, what they try to do in certain counts, what you need to do to counter that. He's been through all this, a million times. And you're right. I mean, he doesn't throw the ball over. He's not overpowering at all. I think I talked to Jim Tracy yesterday. He said it's like 81 or 82. Not going to pop anybody's eyes, but, he just continually moves the ball around, and that's the biggest part. He has the ability still, because he doesn't have to try to reach back for that extra power. He has the ability to continually just put the ball right where he wants it, at what speed he wants it to be there.
1-0 to McCutcheon's outside.
It's almost like he's like a Greg Maddux that doesn't throw as hard. He can put the ball where he wants to, and he has that gut sense of when you're out in front or where you're staying back, and he'll deal to that. And
it's almost, and it was the same way with Maddux. It's almost like he knows what the hitter's going to do before the hitter does.
Right. And he throws what the hitter doesn't look for.
Right.
That's kind of a magical. That's like saying Bob Gibson always pitched when the other team wasn't going to score much.
Well, that was a whole different program.
Yeah.
That happened a lot, though.
But that was pretty good instinct too.
Yeah.
He's been gifted. He became a very good pitcher rather than a thrower at an early stage.
McCutcheon, a looper to shallow center field, and Fowler is going to run underneath it. And Kent Tekulve visiting with us in the booth. Pitched in a game that Moyer started and won against Steve Carpton and the Phillies.
Oh,
Teague could do some pitching.
Look at those sideburns.
Yeah, you've had a shave since.
Those were stylish then, by the way, Steve.
Yeah, stylish, and so were the glasses.
Yeah.
You could have flown a 737 with those things qualified. Those old style lamps that were the aviator style.
They're getting harder and harder to find, too.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
That's good.
There goes Tabata, and he will take second base without a throw. Stolen base number 3 for Jose.
Well, I guess it's one thing you can do against guys that don't throw real hard, throw 80 mile an hour, start running. It takes a little longer to get the home plate.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't see the catcher running out halfway to the pitcher's mound, going past the batter to go out and get it. Let's see if we can make something happen with a 2-out base hit here.
Well, McGee's got a chance to drive in the tying run. Casey 0 for 1. I beg your pardon, 0 for 0. He walked his first time up, but he appeared as a pinch hitter on Sunday afternoon and drove in a run after Michael McHenry led off with a double off the right field wall in the 8th inning. McGee came up and put the ball right into center field, drove McHenry home.
Well, that's what was nice about the Pirates' first run today is the fact that it was a double. You got him over, you got him in. They have to be able to capitalize on those types of things. They can't miss opportunities.
Yeah, and you almost got to start doing that more because you're not bunching a bunch of hits together. You got to accept it. You got to take your medicine until you get the bats rolling a little hotter.
Yeah, you're not bunching a bunch of hits and you're not hitting many balls over the wall. So that's the way you got to go about it.
See, he's got Casey out in front on these first 2 pitches.
I can throw that 81 mile an hour heater right on his thumbs and probably just jam the heck out of him.
Yeah, because that 81 now is going to seem pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And we tell people go out on the interstate and watch cars going by 81 miles an hour. It still gets from point A to point B.
2-2 to McGee. Tabata, good speed at second base. He's taking off for third, and McGee hits a roller toward third. Nelson picks it up, fires on first base, and that will do it. We'll see you after the game of the postgame show.
All right, I will be down in my perch down along the right field line, section 103.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, guys.
2-1 Rockies as we head to the 4th at PNC Park. Pirates. Todd Helton will lead off against Kevin Correa. Jamie Moyer, subject of our AT&T Mobility trivia question. He made his major league debut June 16th, 1986 with the Cubs against the Phillies. Teak may have tipped you off.
Oh, really?
Who was the starting pitcher for Philadelphia? We'll test your listening skills and see if you got it. Helton fouls this one off. 0-1. If you were listening closely, you'd have heard it. But it's just neat that, Teak came in to pitch in relief in a game that Moyer started. 0-1. Teague will be down in the perch in section 103 for the post-game show. Saw Rob King around. I think Rob's will be with him tonight. 1-1 to Todd Helton.
Yep, Rob is in the building. We're talking to AJ Burnett.
Helton to short right center field, and McCutcheon. What a jump he had on that baseball.
Just like the jump he had on the ball that Tulowitzki hit to end the third. Andrew can close on the baseball.
Well, look where he starts and look where he finishes.
This ball is hit off the handle. Sometimes that will freeze a center fielder, but even if Andrew falls victim to that, getting frozen by the big swing and the less than carry of the baseball, he's got the speed to recover.
One out, and Michael Kadire, the hitter. Comebacker. 2 quick outs for Correa.
Kevin rolling along nicely after that home run off the bat of Carlos Gonzalez. This is a smother play. Yep, okay, we just get the body in the glove where we think the baseball is going to get to you. You're the closest one to that batter when you're out there on the mound, 60 feet, and those baseballs can get to you very quickly. That's why most major league pitchers that hang around a while will have a history of some bumps and bruises along the way. Very vulnerable.
Ramon Hernandez, the hitter. What's the worst one that got you?
Let me count the ways.
So many?
Yeah. Probably Joe Torre hit a ball off my elbow that landed just in front of the Cardinal dugout. I'm on the ground screaming, and he's arguing with the umpire. He should have a ground rule double.
Yeah. I saw Joe in L.A. No, San Francisco. I saw Joe. And you know what? He wasn't talking about it.
No, probably not, because they didn't give him a double. I broke my thumb reaching for a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, just all kind of stuff.
How long were you out?
With the Torrey situation, 5 weeks.
Wow. Well, not quite the dog days. We're just getting underway here in April, but it's pup night here. A little bark at the park action. Man's best friend along tonight for the ball game. And Neil Walker handles this one in a 1-2-3. Nice, tidy inning for Kevin Correa. Pirates coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th when we return.
The Pirates leaving the field. This is a trademark of Jamie Moyer. The Pirates are leaving. Keep your eyes on the screen on the right. Jamie Moyer. I may be thinking that that's where the phrase I want the baseball comes from. He's the only person, he's the only player in fair territory. He just, it's kind of a neat thing to say. He wants the action, he wants the baseball, he wants to be out there pitching in a major league game. It's kind of neat.
0-1 Neil Walker. Flying out to left field first time up. 1-1 to Neil. It's his 10th birthday.
Well, in November, Jamie's going to have his 50th.
Two and 1 to Neil. .235 on the season. Neil still looking for his first long ball. Three and 1.
The one thing that will frustrate any pitcher, obviously, but especially a guy that doesn't throw hard and has to depend on control, the walks are very frustrating, and you will see some body language when guys that really know how to pitch miss their spots and walk people. That's not their game, because they can't come back and blow the ball by people. They have to really keep their control intact.
Just caught the inside corner. Walker disagreeing with Alfonso Marquez. Home plate umpire. Let's see what the strike zone says.
Take a look at the grid. Grid says yes. That's up to Alfonso. Tom Hallian's crew chief at first. DJ Rayburn and Brian Onora on the bases.
Way off pitch. A bouncer to Tulowitzki. Rifles it over to first base. And there is one out. In the Pirate fourth. AT&T Mobility trivia question. Jamie Moyer made his major league debut on the 16th of June 1986 with the Cubs against the Phillies. Who started for the Phillies that game?
It wasn't Cy Young. Steve Carlton, lefty.
Teague came in relief.
Hall of Famer.
Carlton.
Steve Carlton.
Moyer got the win that day. And the thing about Moyer is that as a kid growing up, not too far from Philadelphia, loved the Phillies. And his favorite pitcher was Steve Carlton. And in his major league debut, he got the decision over him, which is certainly a thrill. Other Pirates or people with Pirates connections who appeared in that game, aside from Kent Tekulve. Michael Navarro grounds to short. Tulowitzki has both infield assists so far this inning. John Russell, former Pirate manager and coach, was catching in that game. Sean Dunston appeared in that game, Glenn Wilson, and also Tom Foley.
Yeah, all Pirates for a time.
Rod Barajas to face Jamie Moyer. Moyer also the son-in-law of basketball analyst and former Notre Dame coach Digger Phelps. Digger's daughter Karen was an intern at WGN-TV in Chicago on the Cubs telecast, and that's where they met. And Digger's been pretty influential in Jamie's career.
Right now, Jamie is dealing. Forget about speed. He's doing some pitching out there, creating comfortable outs, uncomfortable at bats.
Barajas struck out swinging in the second, and Moyer with 2 outs and nobody on.
Comfortable at bats create routine outs.
To left center field. This will get down for a hit. 2-out single for Barajas.
Moyer delivery. A little spin of a breaking ball. Rod staying downstairs, staying with it. Delivers it to left center field. Let's see Clint Barmas, see if he's got a hot bat going tonight. Well hit double his first at bat. You are going to have to get some kind of a bizarre double or triple or some kind of interesting hit to score Rod Barajas from first base.
He's not exactly a track star.
No, you might want to hit the ball over the fence.
Way out front, Barmas 0-2.
So he creates those awkward swings and result in comfortable outs.
Trying to think of some other guys that throw with that velocity. Livan Hernandez comes to mind. He doesn't throw the ball very hard. And Barmas down the line. And that's a fair ball. Going to roll in the corner. And Barajas is going to be held at third. Clint Barmas is 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. And now the Pirates have the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second base.
So far, a good night for Clint as he keeps the hands inside and is able to keep that ball in fair territory. It's an easy ball to pull foul, but he gets it down inside the corner. We needed a really bizarre bounce, and got kind of a traditional bounce. And now Kevin Correa, you got to grind it out. Shorten up, Kevin. Put the ball in play. See if you can get lucky.
Chance to help his own cause. Down 0-1. Wouldn't chase it.
Yep. You just got to shorten up. Try not to be out in front. Get the bat on the ball somewhere. Somewhere.
Pirates threatening, hoping to cash in on this 2-out opportunity.
It's way out in front. Way out in front. And now Jamie Moyer's got him in a situation where he can throw a 78-mile-an-hour fastball. And to Kevin, that will appear to be a freight train.
Two on, 2 out. 1-2 strikes him out. Pirates have had the tying run on base in the second, third, and the fourth, and have been unable to get it across.
With the owner, Bob Nutting. We're joining you because this is a VIP party. Tell me what you guys have created here.
No, this is a lot of fun. We're going to do this once a month, reaching out to great organizations in the Pittsburgh area, inviting them up to celebrate, have some fun with the kids with the game. Today we have Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It's an organization we've been closely aligned with, have a lot of respect for, and just wonderful to be able to host them here at the ballpark and let them have a little bit of fun with the mentors, with the big brothers, the kids all together.
I've seen goodie bags, but these guys are getting the VIP treatment. They've got jackets, they've got foam fingers, they're getting tattoos, they're getting balloon animals. Why do something with getting these guys involved? And it's about the baseball, but just everything else.
Well, we've been trying to do that, as you know, with Pirates Charities, finding ways we can reach out, but something like these tattoos, something like hat. Just let them come out, have a fun, special experience at the ballpark. And if we can keep giving back and partnering with great organizations throughout Pittsburgh, we have an opportunity and I think a responsibility to do that. It's been a lot of fun.
And this isn't a one-time thing. You mentioned this is going to happen once a month here at PNC Park.
No, we're partnering with a different organization each month, trying to find a way just, again, provide that special opportunity once a month to our VIP partners and let them come out here, enjoy a ball game. Need a few extra runs tonight. We'll all have a good time.
Well, I think the good luck is going to come here with our 9-year-old friend Arik. He's got some tattoos. Don't worry, guys. These are just airbrush. We're going to get back to the game. I'm going to see if Bob would like to join me. They're airbrush, so maybe we'll go get a 22 and 18.
Sounds like a great idea, but I might pass, Lacey. Thanks so much.
We'll leave it up to Eric. Arik's going to get a few more for us, guys.
All right, thanks, Lacey. Pirates chairman Bob Nutting. A great thing they're doing.
Yeah, great concept. Wonderful concept.
1-2 to Chris Nelson. This one is to the right side, and Casey McGee's got it. And that is out number 1 in the Rockies' 5th. And Bob Nutting very big with charitable organizations, spearheading Pirates charities. But Jamie Moyer back up, struck out his first time. Pirates charities do so much around the community.
Not just during the season, all year around. And those are the beneficiaries. Those kids are getting a special treat tonight. That's good stuff.
Last week, a presentation out in Plum, Fields for Kids program, and all kinds of things on the horizon. Patty Patis does a lot. The Pirates organization, organizing Pirates charities.
Yeah, and really, it's such a volume, we can't even really acknowledge everything that's done because it's literally, I almost want to say every day of the week. It's not far from that, the involvement of the Pirates in the community. You talk about good community citizens. Yep, Pittsburgh Pirates are, what does Clint say? Pirates are all in.
All in. Even in the community where Jamie Moyer lives, Bradenton, Florida, the Pirates do a lot of charitable experiences. And both Greg and I have been involved with things down there. Greg was at the Miracle League of Minnesota, a joint venture with the Baltimore Orioles. We train in nearby Sarasota. But a lot of stuff around here. 2-2 to Moyer. It's Correa looking to get him out for a second straight time. Gets it. Strike 3.
Well, here we are again, Tim, in a pitcher's duel. Not much offense, a lot of pitching. Groundhog Day.
How about that? Another one-run game.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Yeah, it's been the way. I mean, this is the 16th straight game that the Pirates have been involved in a close ball game. And one of the things that we've looked at that is a strange coincidence is the fact that over the first 15 games, they have not given up more than 5 runs and not scored more than 5 runs. And the only other team ever to do that in the National League, the 1965 Pirates. Should the Pirates fall into one of those two categories tonight, then they will tie the National League record and tie the Pirates' own record. And that 65 team, you were still in the minor leagues at the time.
Yeah, I had a little cup of coffee. Well, I had a full cup of coffee and then went back to the minor leagues. Yep. And that was a very good Pittsburgh Pirate team, by the way. Wound up winning, what, over 90 games or some 90 games that year.
Navarro throws out Marco Scutaro. 3 up and 3 down for the second straight inning. 2-1 Rockies. It's Out of Market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
That looked like the Grim Reaper. I think it had to be Jeff Carson's trying to advise Kevin Correa about batting skills.
Was he carrying a big
the scythe? Yeah, he had the hood on. Yeah. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Well, Jeff in better spirits now after his one-inning start in Arizona. He's on the disabled list currently. Not going to throw for another week, probably. Get back at it, do his rehab stuff, and then get back in the starting rotation. But the right shoulder fatigue, something that plagued him at the end of last year, and Pirates don't want to take any chances with him at the beginning of this season. Alex Presley 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored.
I just would love to see the Pirates, even if they don't win a ball, break out in an inning and score 4 or 5 or 6 runs, just to kind of clear the air a little bit.
Presley's 2-1, hit on the ground to Helton. And Presley nearly made it out.
Wow, was that close?
Bang, bang at first base. A couple of veterans combining on and out.
Yep, against a young speedster.
Let's take a look.
It's a race. Yep, good call. Slow it down, the AGH cam. Yep.
Plenty of distance.
Tom Hallion, crew chief, makes the correct call.
So now, Moyer will face Jose Tabata. Tabata with a base hit, an infield single in the 3rd inning, and now has hit in 9 straight games against the Rockies. It's the longest active home hitting streak he has against any other opponent. The next team down on that list would be the Diamondbacks with 6 straight. Turns this one over to Tulowitzki for the out. 6-3. Quick out. For McCutcheon. He can change things with one swing of the bat.
You can indeed.
I mentioned tomorrow the true doubleheader beginning at 12:35, and then the second game starting 30 minutes after. The new collective bargaining agreement, just to repeat, in case you missed the story when the new CBA was agreed to, an extra player can be added to your roster tomorrow, just for the one day. McCutcheon.
How easy is this for Jamie Moyer when he gets in that groove?
Easy as 1, 2, 3. Pirates gone in order. On to the 6th at PNC Park.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deal on Tempur-Pedic mattresses, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
The Pierogies had it again, and Oliver Onion by 3 pierogi lengths if they're standing up. Rough night for the Pirates offense. Get in gear here in the early part of the season. Dexter Fowler leads off, top of the 6th inning. 2-1 ball game. Kevin Correa has retired side in order each of the last 2 innings. Got him in order in the 2nd as well. Faced 4 men in the 3rd. The lone Rockies runs coming in the top half of the 1st inning. Dexter Fowler had a base hit, and that was followed up by a Carlos Gonzalez home run, his first of the season. Fowler 1 for 2. Grounded out last time up. Looks to bunt. There's a strike. See Kevin blowing on the hands. So chilly now. Game time temperature is 55 degrees officially. It's dipped a bit.
Yeah.
Good thing the dog's got some clothes.
Pirates did some small manufacturing to get their run after a leadoff double, sacrifice bunt.
Alex Presley was sacrificed by Jose Tabata from 2nd to 3rd, and then McCutcheon's ground ball to shortstop scored Presley for Kutch's 3rd RBI of the year. That bouncer to Neil Walker. Fowler is out. 1 gone for Colorado in the 6th. Go behind the scenes with the Buccos on an all-new Inside Pirates Baseball this week. Hear what the best players in the National League think of Andrew McCutchen. Michael McHenry gets mic'd up, and a lot more. That's Inside Pirates Baseball Saturday at 10:30 here on Root Sports. Check it out. McCutchen getting a lot of accolades around the league from folks.
It doesn't happen by accident. Your peers, well, you got to earn their respect.
Gonzalez tries to bunt as well. I was on a radio talk show back in Denver this afternoon, and they were saying, tell us about Andrew McCutchen. He might be the most exciting player nobody ever hears about. And I said, well, no one hears about him because you're not listening. I said he's on national television and promos and commercials. And he's one of the more exciting players in baseball, not just the National League. The other host who was there agreed because he actually paid his attention.
Well, there's one promotion on national television where he says he takes center field away.
And he does.
Takes away from him.
He does.
By the way, talk about Inside Pirate Baseball Saturday. Friday night, Mr. DeColvey and I are going to join Dave Parker, and we're going to go to a little reunion party down in Charleston, West Virginia.
Is that
We
right?
all played for the Charleston Charlies.
It's going to be fun.
Yep, new ballpark. We played at old Watt Powell Park, but they say they've got a Danny there. I'm looking forward to it. It's where the Power plays, right?
Yes, that's right. I was there 3 years ago, I think, on the Caravan. We stopped at the ballpark. There's a well-dressed Pirate fan there.
So far, it's kind of a dog day evening for the Pirates and their bats.
A dog like that will keep you warm.
Not yet a 3-dog night, which was taken by the musical group because of the cold weather in Australia.
Really?
Yep.
There goes Gonzalez down on strikes.
Number 3. Kevin Correa doing just fine after the home run. Gets Gonzalez to chase a bad breaking ball. Bad for Gonzalez, good for Kevin. See the swing going around the circle before the ball gets there. That's what you call being out in front. Ray Sears got to be liking what his starter's doing.
Troy Tulowitzki had a base hit in the 1st inning, and then he lined one sharply to center field that was caught by McCutchen.
Ray Searles' mantra has continually been to his pitchers, you can't do anything about the offense. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you're going to have to be perfect, and that's the way you're going to win ball games. Be yourself. Do your job. Don't try to do more than your job. Doing your job is fine.
Ray's got some refreshment, nourishment going in their dugout.
It's a rally lollipop.
Is that a rally pop?
That's rally gum, and that's a rally hoodie. And that's a rally Pirate dugout.
Foul ball. That was good form on the catch by the ball girl there. The ball girls, by the way, all college softball players. It's a prerequisite. They've either played in high school or college.
Yeah, they make some above average plays. The good hands people down each line.
Correa's 2-1 to Troy Tulowitzki. It's 2-2. Tulowitzki, long-term deal. He'll be a Rocky for a long time. In 2007, during the playoffs, sold out crowds at Coors Field. Began a Tulo chant that continues to this day every time he gets to the plate. Popped him up. Barajas giving it a look. It's out of room. Can't catch it through the fence.
No. Whoa. Now, there is an outfit right there. That is serious Pirate preparation.
He's taking a picture of that.
And there's some studied indifference.
The baby's bored of that. Fills up the count at 3-2 to Tulowitzki. Helton on deck. Tonight is a hat kind of night, isn't it?
Pretty stylish.
Well, in the right colors, black and gold.
Speaking of veterans, it's been quite a theme tonight. Todd Helton has been around quite a long time. Will he have to wait his turn, or will he get him at bat here in the top of the sixth?
Tulowitzki making him wait right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty. In a 2-1 ball game, Rockies batting in the 6th. Right down the middle, called strike 3.
Look, Kevin.
And for the 3rd consecutive inning, Correa gets him in a row. That's 10 straight. Something to bark about. Kick off a 3-game series against the Reds Friday, May 4th at 7:05, and it's a free shirt Friday. All fans get a Pirates t-shirt courtesy of Allegheny Sports Medicine. For tickets to see all of the free shirt Friday designs, go to pirates.com/free shirt Friday. Get your tickets there. You can see all the designs for the entire year. 2-1, bottom of the 6th. 4 hits for Colorado, 5 for the Pirates. Jamie Moyer facing first baseman Casey McGee. Kevin Correa has been doing a little dealing here in the middle innings. Retiring 10 straight Rockies since Gonzalez had a single off him in the 3rd. It's the kind of pitching that Kevin would like to do all the time, especially at home. Last year, really an enigma how he was 10-3 on the road and not very good at home. 3-0 count to McGee.
Start out with a base runner. Humble beginnings.
Broncos need some runs here. Neil Walker hoping to contribute. He's up next. And a strike. Moyer's 3-1 delivery to Casey McGee. That's ball 4, leadoff walk. Tying run aboard. Our AGH injury update has to do with the Colorado Rockies. They've had some key injuries. Pitcher Jorge De La Rosa, torn ulnar collateral ligament. Victor Gomez, shortstop with a strained groin. Josh Outland, another pitcher, strained oblique.
That so far is the injury of the year, the oblique, by quite a wide margin.
Walker trying to get something going with McGee at first, and Walker bunts. Nicely placed bunt. Hernandez throws him out. So a sacrifice. Goes 2-3 on the putout, and that puts McGee in scoring position.
Hernandez coming out, bouncing out in front of home plate to make this play, and you really don't have time to set yourself, and he did a good job keeping his balance while getting that ball to first base. That's better than average defensive play.
Pirates playing some small ball in an effort to get this thing tied up.
You got to. I mean, you can't fight City Hall all the time.
Jamaica Navarro still looking for his first hit of the season.
Now would be a good time.
Start tonight at third base. Second start of the year. He started on the 12th of April in Los Angeles against the Dodgers in left field. He will take ball 1. Navarro made the team out of spring training, and now Juan Cruz is getting up. And as you get deeper in the batting order, Correa's spot coming up in the not too distant future. And there's a hit to left field. Held at third is McGee, and the Pirates with runners on the corners. That's the first base hit as a Pirate for Jamaica Navarro.
Yeah, and Casey had to hold up to make sure that ball wasn't caught, because it almost seemed like that ball was under the glove of Nelson, but it was hit so hard he's not able to get the leather around it. So Casey could not go until he was sure. The ball hit hard. It's going to be more of an idea how close he came to catching that ball. So the runner at second base can't go anywhere yet.
Well, McGee represents the tying run, the go-ahead run there. Navarro being held on by Todd Helton.
If we get down to the spot of Kevin Correa, we will have done some good things.
Rod Barajas 1 for 2, singled in the 4th, struck out swinging in the 2nd.
Well, critical at bat. If you're going to play small ball, you've given up an out. You've got to do what you can to get that run in from third base.
Barajas, good numbers coming into the game against Moyer.
I'll tell you one thing, the Rockies outfielders have shown and are showing some respect for Rod Barajas. They are not shallow. Well back out in the outer pasture.
Barajas a .417 average against Moyer coming into the game. So Matt Reynolds now has grabbed the baseball. Right-hander warming up for Colorado. He joins Juan Cruz warming up in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Left-hander Reynolds, right-hander Cruz. And the pitch. Barajas takes right on the inside corner for a called strike.
According to Alfonso Marquez on the inside corner.
The crowd agreed with it, but too late to worry about that now. He's got a strike on him. Rod's got a good power stroke. Haven't seen it yet during the regular season. We did several times in spring training. And this one to right field. And shallow coming on is Kadire. He'll make the catch. McGee will not try it. Barajas can't get him in.
Well, at least we've gotten ourselves to the hot bat of Clint Barmas. A couple of doubles for Clint. And you wonder what's going through the mind of Jamie Moyer and Jim Tracy. Do you kind of work around Barmas to get a very effective starter out of the game from Pirates' standpoint? But it already looks like that they don't have to force the hand too much with Josh Harrison in the on-deck circle.
2 outs, 2 on. Barmas 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles.
What you'd really like to see is Clint has had a couple of good at bats, really run into one, give it a big time ride.
He's tempted a little bit on that one, but held up. 2-0. Josh Harrison in the on-deck circle. He would bat for Kevin Correa. Runners off the corners and the 2-0 from Moyer. 3-0.
Well, with a couple of doubles, doesn't look like Jamie wants any part of the Pirate shortstop.
So Barmas in the driver's seat right now. A 3-0 count. Pirates need some 2-out magic. Trailing by a run in the 6th.
They're going to force Clint Hurdle to remove his starter.
There's
that was an unintentional walk.
So the base on balls loads him up. Base is full of bucks here with 2 outs. And Josh Harrison will hit for Kevin Correa. So Clint Hurdle congratulating Correa on a good outing. Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach for the Rockies, will come out and visit with Moyer and just give him the quick scouting report on Josh Harrison. Ray Searage making sure that Cruz is ready in the bullpen.
For the third straight start, Kevin Correa goes an even 6 innings, this time giving up 2 earned runs. So does a good job. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 4, including the last 2 batters he faced, 2 good ones, Gonzalez and Tulowitzki. And let's see if the Pirates can at least get him off the hook. If not, keep it going for a while and put him in a position for a win. Josh Harrison up there, I'm sure he's been well instructed by Greg Ritchie and anybody else that wants to chime in about being patient, not getting out in front of these deliveries by this veteran left-hander.
Good time for his first career pinch hit. Looks like Cruz is ready. We'll see Cruz in the 7th. He's the middle part of the Rockies order. Helton will lead off. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And Harrison looks at a breaking ball for a strike.
And just a little sidebar, Navarro at second base will have as much of a lead as he wants because the infielders for the Rockies are going to have to play pretty honest to try not to let a ball roll slowly into the outfield.
Side to Harrison, 1-1. Navarro getting his lead.
I think it's take all he wants. And a base hit gets you a lead. A base hit out of the infield.
A ground ball to third, and Nelson steps on the bag, and that kills the Pirate threat. Pirates end up leaving 3. It's 2-1 after 6. Fifth, 7:05. Be sure to stay after the game and watch Zambelli fireworks light up the Pittsburgh skyline from the best ballpark in America, thanks to First Energy. It's also an Eaton Park Scratch and Win Saturday. All fans receive a scratch card good for prizes from Eaton Park. For tickets, visit pirates.com. Don't miss it. Pirates and Reds and Zambelli fireworks after the game.
Oh, choreographed. Way to go, guys.
Pirates are trying to choreograph a run in the last inning. Couldn't get it done. Left 3 on. McGee got the leadoff walk. Navarro a base hit. Barmas walked. And Harrison pinch hitting. Grounded into a fielder's choice. And now here is Juan Cruz taking over in the top of the 7th.
He has been just fine. He has worked 6 1/3 innings. Has not allowed a run to this point. 6 innings. 8 hits, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts. Kevin Correa remains on the hook, unfortunately.
Todd Helton. Helton's been pretty impressive, Steve, over his career. Maybe because he plays in what people refer to as the forgotten time zone. I don't know if people understand the length to which the numbers of his career will go. Talk about extra base hit seasons, 100 extra base hit seasons. He's 5th on the all-time list. 2001, he had 105 extra base hits. Here are the guys who are ahead of him. Barry Bonds and Chuck Klein back in 1930. Bonds in 2001 had 107. Lou Gehrig in 1927 had 117. And Babe Ruth had 119 in 1921.
Fine company.
Takes a strike. Back-to-back 50 double seasons in 2000 and 2001. Brian Roberts of the Orioles did it last in 2008 and 2009. A ball towards second. Walker picks it off the outfield grass and throws him out. Helton is 0 for 3. Nice job by Walker going to get this one.
Todd is not going to set any speed records, so if you can get to that ball, not panic, not rush, you're going to have an opportunity to make the play, and Neal makes it comfortably after getting the weather around it.
Walker, see, wearing the glasses, he does that for the wind, the breeze. Keep dirt out of his eyes. Clear lenses, so we wear those as protection more than anything.
like safety glasses.
Yeah. Tip. And a strike to Kadire. That's nothing. And so, well, when you play in the dirt all day, you don't want to get the dirt in your eyes.
Makes sense. By the way, Juan Cruz still with that live arm, 94-mile-an-hour fastball after a perfecta slider right on the knees at 88. Well, nice deliveries by Cruz.
Barajas mask got the worst of that one.
Going to have to go to neutral corner. The pitch, foul ball, the glove, the helmet.
All right, you can blink.
Business as usual for a catcher.
To left field and fairly deep. On the track, Presley's got a beat on. Sign up for Root Sports Red Alerts to get text updates on your favorite local teams, exclusive promotions for Root Sports viewers, and more. Simply text alerts to 412-412 to join Root Sports Red Alerts. Message and data rates apply.
I'm getting frustrated now. One Rockies base runner after the first inning. This wonderful pitching once again in danger.
And now plunks Hernandez. That is the first base runner for the Rockies to reach base since there were two out in the third when Gonzalez had a single.
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. The Pirates have three more opportunities, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
On a cold night, that can't feel very good.
That's a stinger.
Ouch.
Now keep in mind, now we get him behind the plate next inning, we're going to have to run on him. See? Although that's not the throwing arm, is it?
That's his left arm.
Yeah, we'll scratch that theory.
Unless he's going out with his left-handed catcher's mitt.
You know what? Let's try it anyway. The way things are going. He hurt his left elbow, getting hit by a pitch, but let's run on him anyway. Which may be in the mind of Clint Hurdle, because with nothing happening, eventually you're going to have to risk more than you usually would. You know, if you're hitting a lot, why risk stolen bases when you can run into an out? But when you're not scoring, sometimes you got to push.
Chris Nelson out of the state of Georgia, first-round draft pick in 2004 for Colorado. Drafted him as a shortstop and started to come up in the minor leagues at that position. Then they moved him to second base. Now playing third base. Visiting with Rockies TV analyst Jeff Houston, former infielder himself in the big leagues for a long time. He told me that the Rockies feel that Nelson's best position is third base. That might be the one that gets him to stick in the big leagues.
By the way, Tyler Colvin in the on-deck circle for the Rockies, so that looks like it's going to be it for Jamie Moyer. Very strong outing. 1 run on 6 hits for the left-hander.
Ball foul picked up by Navarro. 2-2. So doubleheader tomorrow. 12:30 first pitch. 12:35. Here at noon tomorrow, and it's a true doubleheader. Half hour between games. Also a getaway day for the Rockies.
Jamie Moyer, hoping his team can add on.
Strike 3, and Nelson down on strikes. And Cruz whips him. It is stretch time here at PNC Park, middle of the 7th. Rockies
gonna believe it. When you hear it, when you see it, when you read it. The wins and the money stack, PNC getting packed. Leave no doubt about it that the Bucks are us. Back on the scene, crispy and clean. Loyal fans of other clubs trying to claim a new team. I know you see us raising hell around the league. They should roughly rename us Devils just like this league.
49-year-old Jamie Moyer tipping his cap. He's all done after 6 innings. 6 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3, struck out 3, and Rex Brothers, another left-hander, comes out of the bullpen to take over for Jamie Moyer, who right now is in line to become the oldest player ever to register a win. And every time he is in line for one, he breaks his own record.
Yeah, got a chance to set a lot of records this year.
But the Pirates trying to spoil that night for him tonight, because then tonight he would become the oldest player to get a loss in a while.
Well, what you got to do, you eventually got to score some runs. I mean, we talked about it too much. I mean, it's obvious, it's out there. You don't need to say any more about it, but you've got to start supporting this good pitching. You just hate to waste it. You just hate to waste it, but maybe a change of left-handers will do the Pirates some good. They only need 1 to get even, 2 to take the lead. So there's possibilities, and there's 3 more innings to do it. So we'll try it against Mr. Brothers, who is 1-1 with a 1.59 ERA, 8 appearances. This will be number 8.
And now, what does this pitch look like at 95 compared to what these guys were seeing with Moyer?
It looks like a vapor trail. I mean, really, really fast.
And just following up 78 miles an hour on a fastball, you see a 95 mile an hour heater from the same side.
Well, it's tough.
Rex Brothers out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee, 24 years of age. And this one to left center field and a base hit. Time run is aboard. Here he goes for 2. He's safe. Oh, leg double for Alex Presley. His second double of the night.
And that
Speed
ball
kills.
That ball slicing away from Fowler toward left center field, so it was going away from him. And Alex can see this the entire way. He got that hit. When he makes the turn at first base, he knows exactly where that ball is, where the center fielder is, and whether he feels he can get into second base. And he's got everything going for him because the center fielder is moving away from where he's going to try to throw the ball. A good gamble for Alex Presley and comfortably into second base. So, all right, let's go. Ignition.
Jose Tabata, a chance to get him over or maybe get him in. Corners are in.
They've been bunting each time we've had this opportunity. Rockies are thinking they're going to get a bunt.
Jose squares. Pulls back, takes ball 1. Todd Helton right on top of it.
Here's the kind of situation you want to make sure you get a strike here. Because if this guy can help you out, you get runners on first and second. Now, well, what would you do with Andrew McCutchen? I don't know, but it's been so sluggish with the offense. I don't know if it's out of the range of possibility to have him put the ball down. I don't know. Let's hope we get a chance to find out and speculate if we can get Tabata on without having to give up an out.
Rex Brothers.
Make him throw you a strike.
And the pitch to Tabata. Gets out of the way. But it is a strike, 1-1. How about Brothers, though? He's less than half the age, or more than half, beg your pardon, at 24, and the guy he relieved.
Conceivably, you could have your son come in to relieve you.
Amazing. Moyer 49 and Brothers 24.
Let's get Presley over to third base. Look at Helton and Jose not scoring around that time.
We'll see if that backs him off a little bit. But Helton coming in on the cut of the grass at first base. Nelson, the third baseman, is going to hang over there with the runner Presley at second. Strike 2 to Jose.
Very tardy. Very much behind that fastball.
high heat.
Yeah. It's hard to catch up to, even if you're talking about a differential from the starter.
To right field.
Get down.
Get down. Tag. That is down for a hit. First and third.
Wow. Did we get a good result out of that at bat when it wasn't looking good for Jose Tabata, and now the Bucks get it going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. This is the ultimate that could happen. You get the man over to third base without having to give up an out. He hit it just bad enough.
Well, Presley's kind of caught in between here.
He's got to go back. Can't go anywhere.
Well, Presley represents the tying run, and the Pirates have the go-ahead run at first base in Tabata. Trailing 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, Andrew McCutchen, who is 0 for 3 with a run batted in tonight. Hammers it. Deep. This ball is off the wall. Presley will score. Tabata being waved home. Here's the play at the plate. Safe. And the Pirates have a 3-2 lead on a 2-run double by Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah. Let's hear what his peers have to say about that one. He didn't wait. Looked for the fastball, got it, and almost got it out of here. And all of a sudden, things have turned upside down. No small ball there.
3 RBIs for Kutch in the ball game tonight.
Yeah. Guessing fastball. Look at the grid. UPMC showing you where that ball was. That was right down Grand Street. Andrew looking for heat, got it, and just turned it back around.
See where he caught it on the bat. Sweet spot.
You know, the only reason that ball didn't get out, it was far enough toward the end. Another inch in toward the trademark, perhaps, then you've got a 3-run home run.
High off the center field wall for double number 4. And Tabata was running all the way. And that ball was picked up.
Well, he's got it right in front of him. He can see that nobody's going to get to it early. He can see it early that nobody's going to get to it, and that allows him to take off.
Scoring all the way from first base was Tabata with a go-ahead run. Josh Renicky now loosening up quickly for Colorado. Chris Wiesop has been in the Pirate bullpen.
Now they're going to have to keep an eye on Andrew here. This pitcher, now they're watching. Tulowitzki's pretty close. Yep. Because Andrew, it's not beyond the realm of possibility if they get careless. He's over at third base.
He could take it.
But he can't run into the first out there. He's got to be absolutely sure. You can't make the first out in any situation, especially this one. When you've got this team back on their heels, don't give them an out right now. Do not give them an out. Good block.
Casey McGee's been swinging a very good bat of late. He's walked twice tonight. Did I say tonight twice? He's walked twice tonight, I said.
No.
Sorry. And he's grounded out. But he has had some key hits for the Bucks early in the season.
Well, he's been around a while. You'd love to see him push Andrew over to third base or more.
Pitch.
There's a wonderful old toast now. I hope the most you wish for is the least you get. So we want to get him over to third base, but that would be the least. Maybe we can get more than that.
McGee awaits the 2-0 pitch from Brothers. Andrew McCutchen, Steve, just to give a perspective on his season and how he's been clutch late. 9 out of 21 in the 7th inning and later this year. So 9 for 21. Hitting .429 with 4 runs batted in. Some good hitting when it counts.
Boy, did he look for something right there and got it.
And for the third time tonight, Casey McGee draws a base on balls. Pirates with 2 on, still nobody out for Neil Walker.
Jim Tracy's on the steps.
That's going to be it for Brothers. And he is going to go on to Renicky. He'll go for the right-hander and turn Walker around to bat left-handed. So the Pirates, here at the bottom of the 7th, have taken a 3-2 lead. Pitching change at PNC Park. Pedal for Pirates Charities, a 100-bike outdoor cycling event on Federal Street, Saturday, May 12th, presented by Highmark. Each cyclist receives a complimentary ticket to the Pirates-Astros game that night and a commemorative towel. Proceeds benefit Pirates Charities and the YMCA of Greater Pittsburgh Building Bridges program. To register for the event, visit pirates.com/pedal. And here is Josh Renicky. Pirates a 3-2 lead. Andrew McCutchen, the big hit. Nobody out. Followed up Presley's leg double. Tabota's bloop base hit down the right field line. And McCutchen's double high off the center field wall, off the top of the bullpen wall. Scored both Presley and Tabata, who was running from first base. Now McGee walks. So Brothers fails to get an out. Is still responsible for both men on base.
Numbers for Josh Renicky. Now what does Clint Hurdle have in mind for Neil Walker? And Nelson at third base is expecting a bunt. Already in a step on the grass.
Neil already laid down a sacrifice last time up. He's 0 for 2 tonight with that sacrifice. Pirates looking to get some insurance. So Walker with McCutchen at second, McGee at first, facing Josh Renicky. He'll let Walker swing away. Takes a strike. Well, Kevin Correa is probably happy right now. He's off the hook.
He is off the hook.
And he pitched well. It's another good outing for Correa.
Well, he goes 6 innings each one of his first 3 starts. Gives up 1 run, and 2 runs. That's good work.
Walker's 0-2 now. Renicky lives in Sarasota, Florida. 29 years of age. Claimed off waivers from Toronto June of last year. He had been in the big leagues with Cincinnati, the Blue Jays, and last year had 19 appearances with the Rockies after being scooped up on waivers. Walker to the right side, a diving stop by Helton.
Now the veteran gets over there. Ball, a foul ball, but an above average play. For a guy that probably doesn't get as much credit for his defense as he does for his hitting, because he's been such a good hitter. I don't know if that was going to be, well, they say foul ball.
When it's all said and done, nobody else will wear number 17 in a Rockies uniform. Todd decides to hang him up. And you start looking at Todd Helton and his numbers, and the guys that he's in the company of, and you say, man, has he done a lot of work?
Let's see if Mr. Navarro can deliver again. Sharply hit single to left last time up. His first Pirate hit, you mentioned.
He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Catching a gap.
He's 1 for 9 on the season. 1 out, 1-0. And the pitch from Renicky. A little low. I know earlier in the game, Steve, we talked about that new rule, but I want to mention it again. That the Pirates can add another player tomorrow, and they will. They have 26 on the active roster for the full day of the doubleheader. That's a new thing this year with the new collective bargaining agreement. Teams can add a 26th player for the day, and perhaps a pitcher. Clint Hurdle would not say who it was going to be prior to the game tonight. You could speculate, well, probably going to be an arm, and maybe in this situation with only one left-hander in the bullpen, maybe a left-hander.
Perhaps. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it's going to be an arm. A doubleheader, sometimes you can get yourself in a real quandary.
Well, the two left-handers in AAA who've been doing well, Daniel Moscas and Doug Slayton, the former Washington National. Just speculation at this point in time. If they go that way, that's probably one of those two guys who would end up coming up for the day.
Oh, yeah, we'd like to have that young man catch a home run.
It's in the right spot. Three straight hits and a walk off of Rex Brothers. And now Josh Renicky, the third pitcher used by Jim Tracy tonight. McCutchen at second and McGee over at first. Navarro hits it well to center field. Fowler on the run. He's to the track and up against the wall, makes the catch. And McCutchen caught at second base. Ball he probably could have tagged on.
Long run. That ball had a lot of carry to it as Navarro gave it a big ride to the big part of the ballpark. Thought for a minute with the impact on the wall. The eyes are locked in. Never quit on.
Well, McCutchen still at second base. Two men out now and two on. Rod Barajas, who is 1 for 3. Strike is called.
Still time to add on, take advantage of this situation. The bottom of the 7th inning, they've put up a couple to take the lead, but it is a very skinny lead.
And as hard as runs have been to come by, and taking advantage of opportunities. It's one thing that Pirates players have been talking about. It's one thing that Clint Hurdle, the staff have been talking about. Have to do a better job of taking advantage of the opportunities when they're presented. Remember, in the 6th, they had 3 on, bases loaded, and didn't get anybody across. That was following a leadoff walk in the inning to Casey McGee, and another walk to Clint Barnes after a base hit in the middle by Navarro.
Well, the Barajas out hurt because you had a runner at third base with less than 2 outs.
1 and 2 now.
I'll tell you the key at bat, well, obviously the 2 doubles, but the Jose Tabata single when he was overmatched with a high fastball in a 2-strike situation, finding a way, get the ball in play and drop it into short right field. That was a good at bat. Because it wasn't looking good for Jose, but he found a way to get it done.
Tabata with 2 hits.
Pirates with 3 runs, and guess who has all 3? Well, he's standing out there at second base.
Tabata now with 4 multi-hit games on the season. Look at Alex Presley. He's got 4 multi-hit games. He's got 2 doubles tonight. That one outside to Barajas. Count even 2-2. Well, veteran catcher Rod Barajas had 16 home runs a year ago while playing with the Dodgers, his boyhood team. Got to live that dream. And told me in L.A., well, been there, done that, time to move on, do something else. So he wants to pick up the pace here offensively with the Pirates. 2-2. Fought that one off. Pirates have action in the bullpen now as Jason Grilli will come on to pitch the 8th inning. He's all ready to go. Doesn't take him very long to warm up. Here is the 2-2. Bounced. Fills it up at 3-2. So now the runners will be off with the pick.
A couple of good saves by Hernandez. Start up the carousel.
Wants another moment.
If they miss with this pitch, they can't pitch around Clint Barmas.
Runners go, and this one belted to left field, but right at Gonzalez. Makes the catch. Pirates strand 2, but they get 2 on 3 hits, and Andrew McCutchen driving this one deep off the bullpen wall, getting Presley and Tabata across. 3-2 Buccos. (3-2) Pirates as we go to the top of the 8th. Our Nissan Road ahead tomorrow. A double dip here. Old-fashioned style. 1/2 hour after the first game. The second one begins. Juan Nicasio will pitch for the Rockies. That's James McDonald, Charlie Morton, and Jalees Chacin. And battle of right-handers. Both games tomorrow. J-Mac has it first. Some advice from A.J. Burnett, perhaps. Or probably talking about fishing. One or the other.
Jason Grilli coming on to try to hold on to this just acquired skinny lead. Been doing a good job. His 7 games season in 6 1/3 innings. I think he's got 9 or 10 strikeouts. And a huge strikeout Saturday night in the A.J. Burnett game when he came in. He and Watson, 2 massive strikeouts to preserve everything.
And he will face a pinch hitter in the 9 spot to lead off the 8th. That'll be Eric Young Jr. Just saw his dad in Arizona coaching first for the Diamondbacks.
Is that the same Eric Young that was playing with the Rockies back in the day?
He led off the very first game in Rockies history with a home run at Mile High Stadium. And the live ball era began at altitude. 0-1 pitch. Eric takes low, 1-1.
Cruz goes a scoreless inning. Continues his good work with a strikeout.
Renicky visiting with Hernandez and Rocky dugout.
Sure they got their signs right.
Young laid off it. They want the appeal. Third base umpire Brian O'Nora says nope. And the count will go to 2-1.
Legitimate call.
Veteran umpire Brian O'Nora, one of the good ones. Oh, they're all good.
Appeal denied.
They're all good umpires at this level, and sometimes they just make a bad call now and then. But that happens.
So do we.
Yeah, I know.
They're talking about more instant replay, eroding the human aspect of our game. Editorial comment.
Foul tip, strike 2. Double barrel action. Belisle and Rogers. Belisle's kind of been Jim Tracy's go-to guy out of the bullpen, and Esmil Rogers, former starter. Got him. Strikeout for Grilli.
He continues his strikeout pace now. Something like 6 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts for Jason. Terrific work. Gets him to chase a bad pitch way outside. See that ball running outside, away from the strike zone, and away from the bat.
Back to the top of the order for Grilli. It's Marco Scutaro, who's 0 for 3. Popped up to Barmes at short to start the ball game and has grounded out twice to the left side of the infield. Shows bunt and takes ball 1. Scutaro, first year with the Rockies, spent the last 2 years in Boston with the Red Sox. Prior to that, 2 years with Toronto. 4 years with the Oakland Athletics. Came up with the Mets, so he hasn't been around the National League since 2003. 1-1 to Scutaro. Really delivering the ball outside. 2-1. Colorado starts the season 8-7. 37-46 all time in Pittsburgh. Slap to right and a base hit for Scutaro. Right on the line. And a bad bounce, and he'll get into second base. 1-out double for Scutaro. And now the tying runs in scoring position for Colorado.
He had every intention of trying for 2 when he rounded first base, and then he was aided by the bobble by Tabata. Gave him a safe trip the rest of the way. It's right out on the end of the bat. Drops it down the right field line. Just inside the chalk, by the way. Not fair by much, but watch this last bounce. Gets away from Jose, and the rest of it's easy for Marco Scutaro. Scooting around to second base from the very beginning.
Now Fowler. Switch hitting center fielder. 1 for 3. Had a single and rode home for free on Carlos Gonzalez's first inning home run.
this becomes a tough stretch. Not just Fowler, but after that it's Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, Helton, Kadire. So the Pirates going to have to earn this one and keep them off the board the rest of the way.
Gonzalez on deck. Strike one to Fowler. Fowler was a member of the Olympic team in 2008. Competed in China. He was the leadoff man and starting center fielder. And the manager for that team, Davey Johnson, who is now the skipper of the Washington Nationals. Tony Watson ready in the pen. Really gets Fowler here. Then see if Watson gets Gonzalez. Again, no on the appeal.
Side view will tell you. Hate to say it, but I think Mr. Honora, well, I hate to say it from the Pirate standpoint, but a good call, I thought, from the third base umpire. Appeal denied. Very tardy on that swing. 94-mile-an-hour fastball with a quick kind of pump action release by Jason Grilly. Just almost like that recoil. The arm's going back, and all of a sudden it's coming back, jumping at you at 94 miles an hour. Spring-loaded, used to call it.
Dexter Fowler and Jason Grilly. Top of the 8th, 1 out. Another one for Fowler coming up. A good catch. Got to catch it the right way on a cold night with bare hands. Come on out to the doubleheader tomorrow. It's not often you get to see a true doubleheader. You're working downtown, just come across the bridge. Got any meetings scheduled, just reschedule them for over here.
Do them in the morning.
Yeah, you could do that too. Last true doubleheader the Pirates had, I believe, was in Washington last year. After the tryout in Washington the one day, we had to go back and add another game to a Saturday afternoon there.
Misguided cancellation.
It was a sunny day. I still can't I don't have an explanation for it, but it was sunshine and blue skies, and it was too inclement to play apparently. 2-2. Right there, call, strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Jason Grilly. And Carlos Gonzalez will come to the plate. We'll see if Clint Hurdle counters with the left-hander Tony Watson.
Locked him up. Looking for something else. Jason goes away from the fastball and just throws it kind of in the middle of the plate. Prime example of a.
So Grilly gives up the double to Scutaro, who is resting at second base, but he strikes out 2, and the left-hander Tony Watson being called upon to face Gonzalez when we come back. They take on the Colorado Rockies in game 1 of this short 3-game series. 2 of them tomorrow. Doubleheader action. James McDonald on the hill for the Bucks. Playing 2 against the Rockies. Catch all the action starting with game 1 tomorrow at noon. Right here on Root Sports. Juan Nicasio, J-Mac going at it tomorrow in game 1. Jhoulys Chacin and Charlie Morton in game 2. 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. Tony Watson takes over, and it's his job to get the left-handed hitter Carlos Gonzalez here.
Get out, enjoy some M&Ms tomorrow. McDonald and Morton.
Watson with Scutaro at second base. It's strike 1.
What a big strikeout. We're talking about the strikeout Jason Grilli had Saturday night in the Burnett game. Well, Watson just preceded him. And he get Beltran? Might have been Beltran. Anyways, a huge strikeout. They left the runners on the base pass, preserved the Pirate win.
Carlos Gonzalez homered in the first inning, had a base hit in the third, struck out swinging in the 6th. 1-1. Gonzalez is 3 for 23 against left-handed pitching. It's a 130 clip.
Let's add to that on the negative side.
Center field and deep on the run. McCutcheon to the track. He looks up. It's gone in the bullpen. Gonzalez his second home run, and the Rockies are back in front 4-3. Carlos Gonzalez has been a one-man wrecking machine in this game.
And you could tell by the crack of the bat, he got a lot of that one. Big part of the ballpark, but it was not able to be contained. And he breaks loose here in this first game of this series. Outer part of the plate, gets the full extension and gives it the big ride.
Gonzalez has driven in all 4 Colorado runs just this way. Esmil Rogers, the reliever, catching it in the bullpen. So now Watson will face Tulowitzki, and the move to get the lefty to go to the lefty backfires, and that's the first time Watson has allowed any inherited runners to score this season. Both of those runs, or I should say one of those runs, charged to Grilli, and the other, Gonzalez, to Watson. So the lead lost late, but the Pirates still have 2 more at bats if they need them. Watson is the guy on the hook right now. It's the 4th hit off left-handed pitching for Carlos Gonzalez, who came into the game with no home runs. He's got 2 now. 3 for 4 in the night. We'll get up into the seats. Carney Lansford talking with Gonzalez. Carney, pretty good hitter in his own day, and indeed good third baseman. One-two coming to Troy Tulowitzki. This one playable for McCutcheon. So some damage done by Carlos Gonzalez. A 2-run home run, his second of the ball game, and the Rockies now jump back in front by a run. behind home plate. Easy. That lens is expensive. That's an expensive for left fielder. If he's not now, he will be. 2 home runs. His 5th career multi-home run game. They drove in 2 in the first with that one, and then this one off reliever Tony Watson. And that gave the Rockies the lead back at 4-3.
And now we've got a tough customer on the mound, Matt Belisle, who has worked 6 innings this year so far out of the bullpen, 7 innings, and given up 1 hit. No walks, 6 strikeouts.
Tracy has a lot of confidence in Belisle.
Well, got to start all over again. We were down a run, got a couple in the 7th, we're down a run, got to get a couple in the 8th. Get a leadoff batter on here.
Barmes swings and he hits one deep to left field, way back, and it's a Barmes bomb. Home run for Clint Barmes, and a brand new ball game in the bottom of the 8th, tied at 4. Wow. A 3-hit night for him, 2 doubles and a home run.
All of a sudden, the ball starts looking like a pineapple coming at you. You can look so awkward, and all of a sudden it can turn around, and it has turned around for Clint Barmes in one night.
First home run given up by Belisle this season. Barmes greets his guest rather rudely, but the Pirates certainly don't mind.
Nothing cheap about this one. Way up in the concourse. Yep.
Gotta like it. It's been a rough start for Barmes, but starting to catch up with himself.
Oh, is he ever? He might be not all caught up tonight, but he has made some significant progress.
Garrett Jones now pinch hitting here in the 8th inning.
A little back-to-back program, just for chuckles.
Garrett certainly capable of doing it. 1-1. Garrett has a couple of home runs this year, 2 of them both on the road trip. 1 in San Francisco, 1 in Arizona. 237 as a pinch hitter. Jones looking for his first home run here at PNC Park this year.
He's working himself into a nice hitter's count.
Outside again, 3-1.
Working himself into a very nice hitter's count. He can afford to look for fastball and just rock and roll. I mean, he might not get it, he might not hit it if he gets it, but you got a nice situation here.
Ball 4, and the go-ahead runs on.
Small manufacturing time.
Going back to the top of the order, a guy who can handle the bat. Now it's Presley, might be bunting here. Clint Barmes with the home run to tie it. His teammates know he's been struggling to start at the season, but
he knows it. I mean, the minute he hit it, he knew it. All 3 entities knew it. Pitcher, catcher, hitter. That was a rocket.
Second home run of the year. First one was also a rocket to left field at night at Dodger Stadium. Tough place to hit home runs at night.
Now the Rockies better be on their toes. If he puts this ball down, they better, well, wait a minute. Showtime.
Safe at first. Belisle bobbled it, and Presley made him pay.
They'll give him a sacrifice and charge an error. Is that how that's going to work?
I don't think so on that play.
Just getting ready to say he bunted it too hard to have any chance to beat it out with the bobble. And then the plot thickens.
Question now is, do you do it again?
Why not?
Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach, out to talk to Matt Belisle.
And Tim, while we have a moment, there's a lot of things going on, but I mentioned this on the air Sunday, and a dear friend, great family friends, Joey Felitsky passed away unexpectedly Saturday morning, and we've known Joey and his family since 1970 when we rented a house right next to them out in the East Hills, Grove Road, and they couldn't have been nicer. They made us feel so welcome in the Pittsburgh area, in that neighborhood, and their kids were the same age as our kids, and they were great to them. And Joey, 47 years old, passed away, and just want to send our sincere condolences and more, if we could, to the Filitsky family. Joe and Bev, dear friends. Joey and Jimmy, the young brothers, and so sad. We'll see if we can win one for him tonight.
Jose Tabata will square around here, trying to move two men into scoring position. Throw back to second base, and Jones is safe. It looked like Jones was going to go in with his right hand, switch to his left, and that saved him.
That would have been catastrophic. And then with that, Nate McLeod's going to come out and pitch run. Yeah, that's a nice move. He might have known he was in trouble. Gave him the right, took the right away, and gave him the left.
Well, Clint Hurdle not taking any chances now. Getting the speedy McLeod out there. Garrett Jones pinch hit walk. Got himself to second on the sacrifice by Presley. Presley reaching on the error by Belisle. So 2 on, nobody out. Jose Tabata, a 1-ball, no strike count. Pirates looking to push that go-ahead run across here in the 8th. There's a strike call on the ball. I beg your pardon. 2-0.
Underneath, and well, the Pirates will continue to receive any gifts that the Rockies can give. Rockies giving the Pirates an extra out already here in the bottom of the 8th, and Belisle's going to have to come all the way back if he wants to do some business with Jose Tabata.
Tabata pops up the bunt. 1 out. Not what he wanted to do.
Not what he wanted to do, but we're still in business.
All right, still in business with 1 down. And
guess who's up?
Your best hitter up, Andrew McCutchen.
Nowhere to put him. We'll go out on a limb here and say that Andrew's not behind.
Andrew has 3 RBIs of the 4 tonight. Got Presley into the first inning with a ground ball out after Presley doubled and went to third on the top of the sacrifice bunt. Hernandez, the external signs on how they're going to play this defensively. So Scooterell near second base. McLeod the pinch runner for Jones. That's the go-ahead run right there. Timer's call. Too much time for Belisle. As far as McCutchen is concerned, he asked for and was granted time by Alfonso Marquez.
Andrew wanted a large piece of that one. He didn't wait around long for the double. It was the first pitch or second pitch at the latest. Yep.
Just to show you again, his number is 7th inning or later. 9 for 21. 325 against right-handed pitching this year as well. And a comebacker. This could be trouble. Well, good job by Presley. They only get the 1, so the Pirates still alive. McLeod down at third, McCutchen at first base. And a chance for Casey McGee. Fielder's choice for McCutchen and the force out of Presley. .270 the average for McGee. And McGee tonight has been walked 3 times. He's grounded out once. 2 for 3 in his career. One of those 2, a home run against Matt Belisle.
How about something cheap and really shameless, like a wild pitch or an error?
Hey, take it.
Fastball, balk, avalanche, earthquake.
Whatever it takes. Minus the avalanche or earthquake. Ball 1 to McGee. Rockies just coming off the road, taking 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. Milwaukee's tied up with Houston right now in the 6th. 2-0. McGee at the plate, 2 down, 2 on, a 2-0 count. Walker on deck, hoping to be next, and McGee trying to drive in Nate McLeod from third base. McGee, base hit. McLeod scores, and the Pirates have the lead 5-4. Heading to third base is McCutchen. He'll be in safely. Casey McGee gets it done with an RBI single in the bottom of the 8th.
Casey at the bat. Nothing cheap about that. Nothing tawdry. Very nicely done.
And for McGee, his 100th career RBI with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Looks good from any angle. 5-4 Pirates. As McGee drives home McLeod, and McCutchen goes first to third, 90 feet away from adding another run. Jim Tracy takes out Matt Belisle. A pitching change. I'll tell you about the new Rocky Matt Reynolds in a moment. Casey McGee with an RBI single, 2 outs. Pirates back in front by a run, 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. Big hit for McGee, and Walker taps this one down to third, a fair ball, and Nelson will throw him out. So quickly Matt Reynolds comes in, puts out the fire, but damage done. A Barmas blast and a McGee RBI single, and it's hammer time in Pittsburgh. stay connected with all our local teams and other passionate fans just like yourself. So what are you waiting for? Show us how you root on Facebook, and let's go once. Long Lacey Collins, Steve Blass, Tim Neverett. Hammer time. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Casey McGee, guy who's earned his at-bats, came up with a big RBI single, breaking a 4-4 deadlock, scoring the pinch runner Nate McLeod. Clint Parmas with a leadoff solo home run, 3 for 3 tonight. A home run, 2 doubles, and a walk. He's reached base successfully 4 times. And now with a 1-run lead, Joel Hanrahan looks for save number 3.
And he's going to have to earn it. Todd Helton, Michael Kadire, first 2 batters here in the top of the 9th inning.
So it's going to be a tough road for 3 outs, but Hanrahan's the guy. Get it done.
This wouldn't be the first time he's done it.
Nope. So Hanrahan to face Helton. 95 for Joel for the first pitch. Helton is 1 for 5 against Hanrahan. 0 for 2, and Joel has not struck out Helton yet in his career.
Got a chance right here.
Slider's got to be tough on a left-handed hitter. See if he comes back with a slider here.
Just threw a 95-mile-an-hour heater past him. And one more fastball in that neighborhood of speed.
Joel Hanrahan facing Todd Helton in the 9th inning. Pirates 11 hits, 5 runs. Rockies 6 hits, 4 runs.
Tried the slider.
Joel thinks he might have gotten it, trying not to make any expression so Alfonso Marquez can see, but he probably feels he got that pitch.
Now that's that backdoor slider that sometimes will cut back in and pick up that outside corner, and Marquez saying that it kind of went around that outside corner.
Fastball not foul.
Boy, that's tough when you throw the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's not right down Broadway, right down the middle. That is so tough because there's first of all, there's not much time because of the speed, and then if you have to adjust to a location and deal with that and the speed, that's tough. You got to go downstairs or upstairs to try to find it. And Joel dealing there 96, so he's playing a little backyard hardball right now.
Here comes the 2-2 to Helton. To center field. McCutcheon. 1 out.
Stayed with the heat.
Well, that's the guy right there. Got to get 2 more outs. Tony Watson right now, pitcher of record to the good, in spite of giving up the 2-run home run to Gonzalez. One of those runs charged to him, one to Grilly, but
tough way to get a win, isn't it?
Right place, right time sometimes. Kadire fouls this one off, 0-1.
You got Mr. Hanrahan out there throwing warm on a cold evening. Hot stuff coming toward home plate. Hot plate.
Comes a slider.
That's tough. That is tough. Downstairs with cut slider. When a guy throws so hard, many times you have to start the swing early, and if you start early on a breaking ball, you're in trouble. I think Joel wanted to get that much in the strike zone on that slider, but gets away with it. Yeah, you see him grabbing at the ball. I don't think he wanted to throw it right there. Well, these fans on a cold night have been very patient. Let's see if we can get the Pirates to reward them.
Slider on the inside part of the plate that time. And didn't catch enough plate.
Almost like he overthrew it. That ball didn't break a lot, like the first one he did downstairs to Dyer to get out in front. 0-2.
Here's the 1-2 to right field, and Tabata's got a beat on it. 2 down, 1 more to go.
Well, nothing guaranteed, but he just got on the other side of 2 real good hitters.
So far, so good for Hanrahan. 1 more left. And we'll face Ramon Hernandez, who is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 7th. It's looking for this victory heading into doubleheader day tomorrow. Swing and a miss. High heat. On deck for the Rockies is Jason Giambi. Should Hernandez reach, Giambi would come up and take some swings. 0-1. Hanrahan would just as soon get Hernandez here instead of face Giambi. 2 down, top of the 9th, 5-4 Pirates. And the 1-1 pitch. There for strike 2. Hanrahan a strike away. Put it in the books. The Pirates come from behind twice in the game. Hanrahan save number 3. Tony Watson gets the win. 5-4 the final score, as the Buccos take game 1 of this series with the Colorado Rockies.
And they worked hard for this one. Really didn't show any kind of offense. Early part of the ball game, came from behind in the 8th, came from behind in the 7th, and come away with a victory. They worked hard. They earned this one.
Tied the 1965 Pirates for a record that can be good and bad, but good certainly for the pitching and defense standpoint. So the Pirates now go to 7-9, and the Rockies go to 8-9. 5-4 the final score. Guys got to get some rest now. It's a long day tomorrow.
Strap it on for 2.
We'll be on the air at noon here on Root Sports. First pitch at 12:35. Juan Nicasio against James McDonald in game 1 of the Twin Bill. Then Jhoulys Chacín will face Charlie Morton in game 2, 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. They've raised it here. The Parrot helping out. The Pirates with a 5-4 win. Let's check in with our post-game guys, Rob King and Kent Tekulve.
Tim, thanks.